Yes. So in the background, I will be probably
What are you going to be doing in the background? Tell me again.
deleting email. Deleting email. I'm trying to
Well,
clean up a
that's okay.
mailbox. Yeah. So it's like I'm
Laura.
facing the camera, but not actually, like looking at things. Then we'll
So,
know.
so you're phoning it in tonight.
Yes. No, it's just like I don't know. It's one of those things where, Google, it's like, well, if you'd let me download the photos, I wouldn't have 15 gigabytes of shit in the system.
Oh,
If you let me
Google.
have the things that are mine, it wouldn't be a problem.
So okay, that's fair. And if you hear noise in the background, it's Murphy, our new dog, is tied off to my punching bag right over there because Laura's at a Candlebox concert. There's something you didn't think you'd hear in 2023. Um, and so I
Whoa.
had to
Yeah.
keep
Wait a minute. What?
I had to keep the puppy handy because she'll tear the house up while I'm in the garage. So one of Laura's best friends, Lisa McLean Mitchell, is from San Antonio and went to high school with, I believe, the lead singer of Candlebox.
Okie dokie.
So Candlebox has always been oddly in a higher orbit around here than other places. So tonight they went to see Candlebox down at this park by the Cap. So I think it's Candlebox and Three Doors Down. You
Wow.
know,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So that's why. And if you hear the garage door crank open, it's because Laura's home and she's pulling into the garage. So that's how we're going to preface episode 64 of
That
Slurp
this
Toast, the
should be okay,
podcast,
but it could get
back
weird.
after a month off for a variety of reasons.
Oh, wow. Has it been a month?
Say that again.
It's been a month?
Last one was 8:15, according to my notes.
Wow.
Yep,
Okay. Oh,
we're falling behind. I'm trying to get us back on our regular Wednesday, every other Wednesday schedule. I think we can accomplish that.
we can
It was
accomplish that.
summer.
I,
There was stuff going
well,
on.
I was going to say it's the end of summer. We're moving kids to and fro, you know,
Yes.
that kind of thing.
So how did the move in go with getting the only child off to college?
That was nothing, man. It was just like, smooth as silk. We went in, dropped the stuff off, said goodbye, went to dinner. That was it. Wait a minute. Dropped the stuff off, went to dinner, said goodbye. That was it.
Wow.
Otherwise, it sounds like we went to dinner and then we like texted her from the restaurant. Okay, we're off.
Good luck. Godspeed.
Godspeed. You're our favorite. Bye.
And how is she adjusting to life at the greater college experience?
She seems to be okay with it
Cool.
because we were, you know,
Because y'all are kind of a tight unit like we are.
what's that?
So y'all are kind of a tightly knit family unit like we are. So I know what a big transition it was for us a couple years ago. So especially since there's only one daughter, we at least had two. We phased them out.
Faced them over time. Now,
We
yeah,
finally got rid of both of them.
yeah, like Chuck from Happy Days. One day they were here. Next episode they're gone.
Yeah, exactly. Took the basketball and left.
Never seen again. Never mentioned again.
Um, this may be the Chuck Cunningham episode. It may have just become that. Anyway, so all good. She's settled in. I saw you went to a football game already. So are you gonna be a K-State guy now?
No, no, no. I've got that small college exemption. So, and in fact, I tried to find the least K State t shirt that I could find.
It's hard to
And
do when it's purple.
well, you would think I found what I thought was the best one is a gray shirt and said Kansas State in purple, right? That's it. T shirt, boom,
Okay.
done. Okay. So now the next day we're at the football game and I turn around and there's a guy in a purple t-shirt that just says state and thought, damn, I was so close.
You were on the right path.
I was on the right path. But damn.
I know. See, I have one piece of USLULL merch, and I bought it not even when I was in school there. I never bought anything when I was in school there, but like we had the office in Lafayette, and I would go back periodically. I went by the merch store one time because I saw it there on Johnson, and it's just a black cap,
Hmm.
black Wickaway cap, and in white block letters it says "Raging Cajuns" on it. There's no fleur de lis. There's no
Nice.
letters.
I like
Just
it.
"Raging Cajuns." That's all it says. It's the only thing I own. So
Yes. Now, as opposed to my daughter and wife who have, I mean, we can't get past the freaking the company here that sells all like the college merch is called Rally House.
okay.
Um, and they're big. They just like go into St. Louis and all they sell is like St. Louis Cardinals, St. Louis Blues. I don't even know what schools are over there, probably Mizzou. And they just sell a whole shit ton of that. So here in our town, it's Chiefs, Royals, the soccer team, and then KU,
Is it
K
the
State.
FC KC? What is it? I don't even know.
Oh, Sporting KC, yeah.
Oh, okay. I know it's we're Austin FC, so I figured it was a FC in it somewhere.
Yes, as they decided not to go the route of like minor league hockey and just give themselves ridiculous, we're the Austin Wranglers and our logo is a snake. Ah, no, we're gonna go like,
No,
you know,
I
whatever.
believe that's our pro bull riding team is the Wranglers. There is actually an Austin PBR team. I kid you not. I didn't even know there were teams for pro bull riding. I thought that was a solo sport. Um,
Yeah, shows
anyway,
what you
yeah.
know.
See, I should really get hip to the game here in town.
But yeah,
So
so you go in and but anyway, I mean, this company has like, so in Manhattan, Kansas, there's a rally house that's like right next to the campus. They,
mhm.
I think, populate the campus bookstore. There are two of these fucking things in the football stadium. And Rally House is, in my opinion, overpriced for what you get. It's like it's a great t-shirt. It shouldn't be $30 if I can hold it up and see the sun. Um, you know, so
that's that's fair. That is fair.
yes. And that's
Oh
basically how
yeah,
they sell.
I've been to one UT games. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a captive audience. So I've been to one UT game since we moved here, and it was kind of the same thing. There was like trailers all around Darrell Royal Stadium. Yep, Murphy, you're fine. And I think she disagrees.
Uh-huh.
Murphy,
Well,
you're on the
she's allowed,
podcast. Congratulations.
um, but now the one football game that we went to, uh, the football game that we have been to, we it was parents' weekend, and
Right.
it is so we thought, oh my God, we're never going to get seats because of all the alumni. No, we got seats on the fourth row, on the 50-yard line,
Wow.
right next to the
Wow.
student section. Oh yeah. My daughter shows up. We're already in the stadium, and it's like our seats are so much better than yours.
Funny what a little cash will do, right?
That's funny. Well, yeah, mom and dad got money. Look at what we're doing. Woo! Uh, this, by the way, had we died, would have been yours.
We had grown up money.
Yeah. So no. So we went, and it was fun, but I thought, uh, the K State's one of those like alum factories, legacy type universities. Mom went there, dad went there, grandpa went there, so I'm going there too. Do they have anything you want to major in? Nah, but my family's been there, so I gotta go. Um, but I don't even know where the hell I was going with it. We went, we had fun. We'll probably go back to a couple of other games. We stayed in this hotel away from
My
campus.
son's
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Go ahead.
and we
Hotel away from
we
campus.
yeah, we we pull in and there's like 5 tour buses and it says "Welcome Troy," which is the school they're playing. And I'm like, "Oh," I tell my wife, I go, "Oh, man, I think we're here with the opposing team." And we go in and it's just filled with like alumni, boosters, those rich alumni who travel with the team from Southern
Hmm.
Georgia. And so I asked the kid, I was like, "So is this where all the teams from out of town stay?" Because I'm thinking, yeah, this might be fun when we come in for like a real school. Oh, the kids from Nebraska are here. Oh shit, if they ever played like
Husk that
Colorado.
corn.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's one
yeah,
of
when
those.
they play Colorado, you run into Dion on the elevator.
Yeah, would that be sweet?
Coach Prime, Coach
Coach Prime,
Prime.
my man. It's 9 o'clock. You can take the sunglasses off, right?
I don't think you can.
And you're indoors, yeah. Um, but anyway, so I
I
go
was
up to
going to
the
say,
kid.
my
Yeah.
children chose. I'm sorry, go ahead. You go into the kid,
So you go to the kid at the front
and he
desk, and I was like,
says yes or no.
they say, I go, do all the visiting teams stay here? And his answer is, um, you know, I don't know. I mean, we got a football team here this week, and there was a football team here last week, but I don't know, maybe. This kid just going.
There's
It's like,
somebody's not getting their tuition's worth.
so are
Or is he a
those cookies
townie?
free? Yeah, I think he was a townie. He goes, so those cookies free for anybody? Oh yeah, they're really good. I bet they are. You want to pat them on the head, kind of a thing. But anyway, you're talking about sending the kids to. Uh, do they have a football team?
Oh
Wait
yeah,
a
I was gonna say my children. No, my children went to the only school in Texas without a football team.
nice job. How did they
Yeah,
pull that off?
it's a it's a STEM school. It's pretty well insulated in Richardson. There's not a whole. They have like 12 to somewhere between 12 and 20 soccer fields on one side of the
Oh
campus,
well,
but no football. So I think that speaks to you know whatever.
yeah.
But yeah. So they have a T-shirt in their bookstore that says "Establish whatever undefeated in football since whatever year the university was established," which I find amusing. But so
Nice job.
yeah. So I don't get to do the college football parent thing. That's okay.
Well, I mean, and it's fun. I mean, because I've got
So
some.
let's talk about your basement and it's sending you to the hospital.
So yeah. Oh, that's right. I've been to the hospital since the last time we did one of these. Um,
So did you get it dried out?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So what happened is we had foundation work done on the house earlier this summer, right? And the guys are like, okay, well, we're going to do this, and the ground's going to settle, and we're going to come back, and we're going to
Mhm.
tamp it down, and we're going to reconnect your gutters and your downspouts, right? And they don't come back. And so then we've got like one of those NOAA type of ranges, and I'm out there, so now water's leaking into the basement, and it's kind of like, ah, fuck. And then, oh, there's a sump pump, and the sump pump must not be working, right? So now I've called the home warranty people. I'm outside now with tarps, trying to lean them up against the side of the house. The thought being that the rain will hit the side of the house, it hit the tarp, and the tarp will push it off out into the yard, so it won't settle against the house.
Okay.
And in doing
Okay.
so,
That
I
makes sense.
find that the foundation guys actually broke the sump pump pipe that went outside the house, so that when all the water got pumped out, it just went to the top of the pipe and then came right back down into the basement.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. So we're cleaning shit out for days, and
I remember you telling me you were going to have to tear out sheetrock and insulation.
oh yeah,
And I think that was the last time we podcasted. So
yeah, sheetrock's gone, insulation's gone. I mean,
just down to the studs down there or what?
Not all the way, just in a couple of areas. So it's actually not
Okay.
bad. In fact, to put it back, it's like you're looking at it going, I honestly think this is like 4 sheets of drywall, maybe. If they cut it right, maybe
Okay.
3. Um,
Okay.
but we're trying to get
That's
prices
somebody.
to do that, redo carpet, and so it's all kind of torn up, and I'm up here. So
And
yeah, and
the dehumidifiers hospitalized you.
yes, because they sucked all the water out of the basement and possibly out of the house that I got dehydrated. And so I'm sitting there at work one day and I'm like, oh man, I feel like absolute dog shit. I can't, I'm wiped out. I'm tired. My chest hurts. My arms hurt. I'm like, that's it. I'm going. I told a couple people like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm gonna get the mail, and then I'm gonna go to the ER." They're like, "Well, you're gonna bring the mail back?" I'm like, "Probably not."
That's very, very much a you way to approach that, by the way.
Right. So I go, I get the mail, I look through it. There's no bills, there's no check. So it's like, "Oh, we're fine. I don't have to take this back to work. I just go drive myself to the hospital." And why are you here? And it's like, oh, I've got this tightness in my chest, and my left arm hurts, everything. I feel weird, and I don't feel right. And, I do have a pacemaker, and I am a cardiac patient, and I don't really think anything's wrong, but I figured I might as well just come in here and get checked out. And so, they got me into the room, got me all IV'd up, got me all monitored up, took a chest X, drew blood. I've like text Kristen's like, "Oh, I'm at the ER, by the way. I should be home by 5." Should I be worried? Nah, I think I'm okay. Uh, then put my phone on the other side of the room, and they come in and they do this thing. They're like, "Okay, we're gonna do the chest X-ray." So they do the chest X-ray, right? And I still have like the hospital gown on, and it's pulled down like here, and I'm like, "Okay." I go, "Are we good?" They're like, "What do you mean?" I go, I mean, were we just waiting for test results?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, cool." I then proceed to just go to sleep. So I am lying there in the hospital bed, completely knocked out, 3.5 hours, long, hard. The naps where you like wake up, you're like, where the fuck am I? Um, I do the 3 hour nap. You know, the nurse comes in and asks me how I'm doing. And she goes, "Don't you want to put a sheet?" Because I'm still lying there with the gown open and chest just exposed. So I look like you know patient of the week on like Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and then I'm just like, they're like, "How do you feel?" I was like, "I feel great." You know,
There's
I-
humidity in the air. There's
yeah.
moisture in
And
my stomach, in my lungs.
so they basically said, "Yeah, it just sounds like you're exhausted." And I told them, I go, "I've only been sleeping like 3 hours a night for like the last 4 weeks, not 4 weeks, but like the 4 or 5 nights I just, you know, haven't been
Yeah.
sleeping, and boom, done. 3.5 hour nap. Uh, so they came back, drew another blood. I kind of dozed off again. Um, and work in that time had like freaked the fuck out.
Because you were
Well,
incommunicado.
well, because the last thing I said was, I think I'm having a heart attack. I'm gonna go to the ER. like, what do you mean you think you're having a heart attack? I go, I don't know, man. I feel weird. My chest hurts, and I'm just gonna go. I'll be back. I'll see you. So when I did finally get to the point where I was going to take calls, there's like 5, 10 texts from work. Where are you? How are you? Are you okay?
Are you
One of them
dead?
was, and they were becoming more and more desperate. And the last one was like all caps. Are you all right? I'm like, I'm in the ER. No phones.
Yeah, and I'm glad I'm glad you're good. And it was just that I saw the Facebook post and I was like a little concerned. But then you responded to your sister, so I knew it wasn't too worried about it after that. So
Oh yeah, and I mean it was a great nap. It was just fucking amazing.
sometimes you need those like medically induced naps.
Yeah, and
Something.
it was kind of like sensory deprivation or something. It's like, I'm in the ER. I've got that little thing. Bing, 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 bing. They're like, they take my blood pressure. It's like, man, it's like 110/70. I'm
Wow.
like, man, that's awesome.
Can I just move in here?
Yeah. And then I mean, yeah, gone out like a light.
That's awesome. I was we were after we moved the boys out. I was feeling a little tenderness in my nether regions. Like, oh shit, I've got another kidney stone. I was convinced, so I went to see the urologist. No kidney stone evident on the blood test, or the urinalysis rather. So they sent me for a CT just to make sure.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was I'd not had one of those. I think I had one the first kidney stone, but I was in so much pain that time. I don't remember anything about it. But they did it with and without contrast, so that was fun. Have you ever had it with the contrast?
Yeah, that's where they shoot you with the iodine, and all
Yeah,
of a
and it
sudden
feels
they're
like
like,
you
holy fuck, I just pees.
Yes. Yes. The guy goes, thinks because like they had, my arms are up like this.
Uh-huh.
This way it'll work better. And like the IVs here, and it's got like the Brazil looking like iodine injection needle mounted on the machine up here. And I'm like, okay. And they go, all right, it may start to feel a little warm as it goes in. Nothing going on. And then it starts feeling warm where you don't want it to feel warm. And I'm like,
Yes.
that's different. He goes, does it feel like you just peed on yourself? I'll go, yeah. And then, yeah, it's pretty much what it's supposed to feel like. Really?
Yeah.
In 2023, it's supposed to feel like I pissed myself because you injected iodine into my body?
When I did the first time I did like a cardiac catheter where they shoot the stuff in there, I'm there and it was like they were all in on the joke, right? And I've told the story where they like shave you and you're thinking, that, oh man, I'm going to be freaked out. No, they see dicks all the time. And then you feel two fingers, like, just kind of gently move your wiener out of the way. And you're like, wow, that's emasculating. That is really fucking emasculating. Um, but they're doing this whole they have a shtick, right? And they're like, okay, here comes, and it's gonna feel like you wet your pants. And then they all
Well,
say, but you're not wearing pants. I was like, hey, I'm glad you guys are having fun.
I
Oh, you're fucking
guess
hilarious,
if you're
Doc.
shaving dick all day long, you got to have pattern.
And you just see there, you got the little
my
two
guess.
finger pinch going on, and you're just like,
Work up,
God, I went
you
to,
got to work up a tight
yeah.
five.
I went to nursing school. They didn't go over this. That's for goddamn sure. Yeah, I shave, scritch. It's a dry shave too. Scritch, 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 scritch.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there going,
And it's like
oh,
the
man.
single blade disposable razor. That's going to leave a mark.
Exactly. and the whole time you're like, don't get a boner, don't get a boner, don't get a boner, don't get a boner. And then you're like,
Oh, I got
I
a
bet
boner.
some people has. I'm pretty sure that they touched it. That dude just, up the flagpole.
Boned up. Yeah.
Yeah, boned up. And I mean, the shit that goes through your head is just like, oh, they see them all the time. And then you're like, I wonder how I measure up. Well, they're using two fingers, so clearly that's a message to me. It's like, so.
I will tell this story. I don't know that I've ever told this story before. When we were trying to have the boys some testing done, right? And I had to give some samples for testing. And I take you into the room with the little cup. And then there's an assortment of magazines because I'm old. It was magazines, not like here, scroll the internet. So I always like to say Belinda Carlisle was involved in the conception of our children. Because one of the magazines featured Belinda Carlisle. Anyway, I mean, never.
Could you imagine just like sticking your head out and going, hey, do you got anything filthier? Because this ain't doing it for me. Here's a list of what I'm into. if
If
you've
I'd
got
been there by
something with
myself,
couch
yeah,
sluts
probably would
or
have. Black King. I don't know.
yeah. I've heard
Some of
of
the early
something called
Wii.
BBC. I'm not sure, but I want to see that. Uh,
Is there a
wouldn't that be
menu
fun?
I
They
can
give you
choose
like a
from?
well, I mean, you were there, but they don't like give you like a little card. It's like, what's your kink? And you just kind of go, oh yeah, let's try that, and let's see that, and let's see that. There we go.
Yeah,
And they're like,
no. It
oh
was
well,
just like
you can't have
here.
children, freak show.
Here's the shit we stole from our husband's man cave. You good luck.
Ah, if you just
And it
sit
was
in the
all
room, nurse, and call me
thumbed
daddy,
through
that's all
very
I need.
well.
Yeah.
Just some stocking, a little stocking. I like the
I
way
know
the
this is
line
weird.
runs at the back of the stocking.
I know this is weird, nurse, but just pretend you're putting in an IV and then lean over my arm so I can like sneak a peek down your blouse. I will say, so I got my knee scoped, right?
Right.
And this is like they snuck me in between waves of COVID. Okay, I mean it was like
Nice.
I I got the MRI on a Thursday and I was getting scoped 2 weeks later. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and so the nurse she comes in and she's like shaving my knee, right? So
Mm-hmm.
not a problem.
And
That's
you
what they
boned
do.
up.
No, I didn't bone up, but I'm sitting there in the hospital gown and you've got no pants or anything on. And she shaves my knee and she goes to adjust the end of my gown and I catch her doing one of these.
Good for you, son. Good
That's
for
what
you.
I said. And somebody goes,
Good
wow.
for you.
I told the story. Somebody goes, well, that's really creepy. I'm like, no, it's a fucking compliment. It's not creepy at all. Look who just got invited to the party.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And that's exactly how that goes. That's exactly your reaction. She kind of does that thing, looks up, gives you a half smile. You're like, still got it.
Arch
got
does this.
Yeah. She comes up, tears in her eyes. Big, strong woman, tears in her eyes. Sir.
You had to do it the hard way.
I think I'm done with the sound effects now. Oh, that's too funny. Oh, God.
That makes surgery all worthwhile.
So,
it makes up for the two-finger pinch.
doesn't it, though?
Yeah. And you're just like, you're kind of like, I was in the pool. Well, no, we're not in the pool.
I thought about being in a pool.
It's
I was
really
near a
cold
pool.
in here. It's really, really cold on here. I hit that little table and just thought, oh, it's like the morgue slab. Just everything's
Right.
shut.
Oh, shit. What else has been going on?
We're kind of going in this vein. It's like when they put the
Vein.
pacemaker in, and they're like, "Are you nervous?" And I'm like, "Nope." And they're like, "Were you anxious?" Nope. Like, you're really not nervous at all. I go, check the blood pressure. It's like steady at like 120 or something. And she's just like, huh, no anxious. No. Do it. Let's do this. Let's go. Are we ready? At the same time, you're spread eagle on this table with them like sticking shit in this arm and sticking shit in this arm.
Oh.
And then, of course, they turn your head, look at the thermostat, count back from 100, which goes 100. Where am I?
Yeah, that's my favorite part. I've never had, obviously, I had the pacemaker and put in, but I've had, thanks to family history, I've had multiple colonoscopies. And the last one, it was like, okay, this is going to make you feel like you had a margarita. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Shit. I need to go drinking with you.
Because it is. It's just 100. Anybody I've ever asked who've had surgery, it's, do you remember 99? And they sit there and they look at you for a second. They're like, oh, yeah, no.
That shit hits fast and it hits hard.
It's like 100 recovery.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow. Good times.
Oh yeah.
Great old
Yeah.
days. Sorry. So let's see. We got kids off to school. We got you out of the hospital. By the way, ever since we were in San Diego and I realized I had the Ross All, I could do Ross All Ghoul. All I want to do is shave everything except the Ross All Ghoul part on my chin. Laura is not amused by that at all.
No, I did the Quint from Jaws
Mhm.
during COVID. I shaved this off. Oh my god. Both Kristen and Babe were like, all of it gone. Get it, just undo that. I was like, well, just wait, it'll grow back out. And then in the meantime, let's get a bigger boat. You know?
It takes time. How loud is the dog? How loud is it on your side?
Pretty loud.
Is she
You're in the garage
okay?
with her.
Can you hold things down for a second? Yeah. Well, I can't. I mean, I can hear her. I know. It's curious what it sounded like on the other side. All right. If she stays, tell you what. Take over for like 2 minutes while I go put her inside in the crate. I'll be right back.
Oh, great. Now I got 2 minutes of dead air to fill. Damn. I got nothing. You know, it's one of those things where I could probably talk about. Last time I tried to do something on the sports cards. Actually, I need Bruce to come back to talk about that because there's a guy who's done some really cool stuff with sports cards and how they're displayed. I could do a preemptive. I'm going to do. Oh, he's back.
Back.
Yeah, when you hear me talk, it's just me rambling.
It's okay. I sort of threw that on you. So, have
I'll
you
do my NFL power rankings.
seen Red done anything fun lately?
What's that?
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Have you seen Red done anything fun since last we spoke?
Oh, you know, we were going to go see Cyrano de Bergerac, right? Last weekend.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. Yeah, how was that?
Yeah, it was not good. So it's
Okay.
so I don't know if it's Kansas City theater in general. Is that they like have the option to do like the really good classic version, and instead decide to do sort of the modernist take that still needs all the bugs worked out.
Uh-huh.
So they picked the edgy one, and it comes in, and you're just kind of like, because I told Kristen at intermission, I was like, man, I don't want any of them to be happy. I want Cyrano to suffer. I want Roxanne to suffer. I want Christian dead. I hate them all. She goes, you're supposed to like them. I go, man, Roxanne's narcissistic. I really hope she ends up with a terrible life. And Cyrano, he was just so full of himself. It's like, I kind of hope he gets killed in the war. I mean, I did not like any of them. And so they try and modernize the story, except they kind of leave it in the past. There's no prosthetics. So Cyrano, I don't know, is Asian a good fill in for Big Nose? Because,
Wow.
yeah, I guess you're like going,
Wow.
yeah, it's like even the Groucho glasses would have been fine because that would have, conveyed us. Because now you're just like going, oh, he has no nose at all. Yes.
Like you're doing Cyrano and you don't budget for a nose?
No. And they dropped a bunch of F-bombs and the C word.
Ooh,
They
edgy.
dropped the C word. That was kind of like, well, that was out of left field. And I'm pretty sure this crowd just went over like a lead balloon. And they also tried to rhyme everything. So everything was written in rhyming couplets, which was fun. And then it got annoying. And then it just kind of, and I kept expecting this one guy to be like the Greek chorus sort of a deal, The demon, nice.
Rhyming couplets.
Rhyming couplets,
No
yes.
waiting.
And that
Sorry,
guy
I wasn't trying to
probably
take away
pulled
from
off
your.
a better Cyrano. No, I just yeah. We got to the end, and Kristen's like, what did you think?" I go, I go, Roxanne is basically turning tricks for the guy who got her husband. I don't know. The Gooch or Geach or whatever the fuck the guy's name was. I didn't like
Gooch.
him.
I believe he's
The
the one that
Gooch.
beat up The Gooch beat up Arnold Drummond back in the day.
There we go. Yes. So anyway, the Gooch is like paying for Roxanne to live in an apartment and watch her have sex with strangers, which isn't said explicitly, but kind of implied. And I'm like, whatever happened to her?
Wow.
Kristen's like, well, in the original play, she goes into a nunnery. I'm like, oh, she doesn't get turned into the late 1700s version of OnlyFans. Cyrano, just I don't know. It was just kind of. It just was.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around you're doing Cyrano with no prosthetics. That's like, like
Exactly.
at least
And
in my recollection, integral to the story.
yes, because when he says something about, well, perhaps you enjoy the shade under my nose, and you're like, dude, it's like this big. It's like this little nub on the side of your face. It's not a nose. You know, Cyrano's would walk up to
Weird.
you. How do you breathe out of that thing? Like the elephant and the hunter. Anyway,
That's weird.
yeah, so that I didn't think that was I did not enjoy the play. Actors, I'm sure, did a very nice job. It makes it sound like I didn't watch it.
You were planning exit routes for the intermission.
When you're sitting there in your seat going, "Oh, thank God, plays in city." Kansas City has a thing where, like, the first act or the first half of the play, they take that long, and then they have the intermission, and then they like wrap this thing up like the third act of Law and Order. I mean, it's a ba-dum ba-dum dum. So we make it to intermission, and my thought is, oh, thank God, there's only like a half hour left. And I'll be damned. There was like 35, 40 minutes left, and we just wrapped it up and went home happy. No, I didn't got go home happy, clearly.
Wow.
That could be a thing. I'll critique theater. That's the thing. Steve critiques
It's
plays.
gonna be
he
your.
doesn't
We'll
know
have a
or
segment.
understand. Yeah.
Or like.
Or like Steve sees theater movies he doesn't like. I just waited for the goddamn thing to be done.
There's 2 hours of my life I'll never fucking get back.
I know I'm supposed to feel bad that Romeo and Juliet are dead, but I couldn't. I just couldn't. They both were
Couldn't they have
portrayed
died
as
sooner?
petulant brats. I mean, if they had a drawing for someone in the audience to come up and whack them, I'd have signed up,
I'd have bought all the tickets.
I'd have bought all the tickets, yes. That could be fun. I'm sure for the right play, you could do that, sell the opportunities for somebody in the audience to be the murderer. you know? That would be fun. It could do like a revival of Clue like that. And it was Jeremy in the
Why
third
not?
row with the Playbill magazine. A death by 1,000 paper cuts.
It is, after all, the worst of the cuts.
The worst. The shallowest
paper
and
cut.
the worst, yes. I think
I
we're
saw a
onto
comedian one time. He said, I think you might be right. That's what the comedian said. I read somewhere the other day that they said paper cuts were the worst cuts you could get. And I don't agree with that, because I feel like getting cut with a giant Bowie knife would be worse. But I've got a piece of loose leaf. I did that one time in an e-wrestling thing. My character was in a match where the first person to bleed won a title. So I wrote a
Okay.
spot where he rolled, the bell rang. It was Jeff, by the way. Jeff
Okay,
rolls out of the
yeah.
ring, goes over to the announce table, grabs the papers off the announce table, and slices himself with a paper, gives himself a paper cut, and walks out with a belt.
There's so many people who are just afraid to think outside the box.
I saw that. That was popped into my head. I'm like, no one's going to come up with a better blood spot than that. No one is going to come up with
No.
something like that. Sure
And
enough.
it's so perfectly for the character.
Exactly. That was the thing. It fit perfectly for the character. That made it even better. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Oh my
anyway.
God. You know, I get the sales phone calls, and every now and I get a live one, right? So in terms
Mhm.
of being character, just kind of create something out of whole cloth. So I get one, and I pick up the phone and I say in amazement that it's a live person, not the recording. Holy crap. And so the guy goes, "Well, how are you today?" I'm like, "And why did you say holy crap to me?" Why did I say holy crap? Because you, my friend, have called me on the best fucking day of my life. Holy crap. Do you realize how lucky you are that you get to talk to me today? And so at one point, I told him, I I said, I go, "Are you kidding me? Final expense. I don't need final expense insurance because I'm not even going to die. Okay. Let me explain to you my regimen. I wake up every morning. I have a couple of Red Bulls. At lunch, I have a big old jar of super beets. Okay. I'm eating so many concentrated beets. It's like I'm eating a field of beets. And then at the end of the night, I cider down a big old glass of apple vinegar cider. I am not going to die. But not only am I not going to die, I quit sleeping, my friend. Just
Sleep is for pussies.
wait a minute, because he goes, "Well, I have two questions for you." I go, "And I've got two for you." He goes, "Okay, what are your questions, sir?" I'm like, "Okay, my first question, are you a bitch?" He goes, "What?" I go, "You heard me. Are you a bitch?" And my second question is the answer is yes, is why? He just and I just went into this like over the top. I don't know.
Uh,
It was unreal because somebody was standing in my office when it happened, and she was just like, "What was that? You like became a totally different person." I go, "That's because I have positivity for breakfast, super beats for lunch, and a Red Bull at night." Boom.
I am 10 feet tall, bulletproof, and hard as a rock.
Yeah, pretty much. Are you hard right now? Are you hard right now? I am rock fucking solid.
I crush up Viagra and use them as dip.
I, I guzzle Red Bull and snort Viagra. Take a little blue pill, crush it up right between your cheek and gums. Oh, it changes your
And if I'm
outlook.
feeling real froggy, I mix it with some BC headache powder, baby. Use the little paper to snort it up.
That's right. Next time I'm getting shaved for a, for a catheter, by God, you're going to bring help to move this log. Better bring a lumberjack because this log ain't moving for nobody.
It sounds like you're ready to date Lauren Boebert.
Wow, man, what a classy chick.
Hands on the hog, baby. Hands on the hog.
baby. I say, look at her phone. I bet, she's.
Oh, there.
I should check their party affiliation. I was like, I think someone should check your browser history because I have a feeling there's a lot of naked pictures going back and forth between GU.
Oh, based on the action taking place during fucking Beetlejuice? Yeah.
When he's out there whipping out your tits. And I mean,
He's
there's no two
motorboating you
bones
during the
about- yeah.
intermission.
he really is about that far from just leaning over
It really is.
and she's just vaping the whole
And this fits
time.
in nicely with our theater conversation. See,
I would see that play. What'd you think happened? I don't know, but that was some shit. I'm not sure of the motivation, but certainly acted like
my
they were
favorite is
into it.
oh they were confused. It was the fog machine. I wasn't vaping. I was enjoying the play so much I forgot I vaped. Make up your fucking mind, okay?
Wait a minute, and then you still watch the video, and she's just like, it's like, oh yeah, that's that little personal
Yeah.
fog machine, bitch.
Yeah.
Not a good week for the party of family values.
What were you inhaling? Ecstasy?
Yes.
That's That party is just it's
I'm
it's
dipping
off the rails,
Viagra.
man. I don't even know
Dipping
anymore.
Viagra. She's
Oh,
vaping X. Cuddle puddle to Beetlejuice. That's what her. She's got mud flaps on her truck that just says cuddle puddling.
It's a wonder she wasn't grinding on him. Like, so they had
Oh,
an
I know.
aisle seat.
That's the worst part. That's the thing. You're like going because you see the video and you're like, well, this may be AI generated, right? They're like, no, it's 100% real. And it's like you do that in the back row, in the middle, not on the fucking aisle.
Right. Not in the orchestra on the aisle. Wow.
I guess when you missed high school because you were a teen mom, that you got to make up for lost time. So,
Well, there's that. I mean, I was listening to somebody the other morning. Like, well, she got married at 16 because they waited till she was 16 to get married. What was he, 20?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
He waited
When
till
you're
she
a
was legal and then, like, put a baby in her.
Yeah. And happy birthday. Go. And
Bleh.
I'm sorry, I had a category for my sample checklist. Barely
Makes
legal.
me a little bit ill.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a callback.
Yeah.
Let's be all professional.
We go.
You got anything cool on your desk?
Yes, I do. Obviously, you have Etrigan.
Well, that was from last time. I didn't get to it, but that was just, I was going to talk some about Etrigan. We haven't gotten there yet. So, but.
Okay. So, all right. It's one of those things that, I got a gripe against like Funko collectors anymore because it. I've been doing this for like almost 20 years, right? And so
Right.
I feel like I have arrived at my cynicism the right way. I've earned it.
That's fair. That's fair.
You've seen the ups, you've seen the downs, you've seen the best, you've seen the worst. You've earned your cynicism. Somebody that's like been collecting for 5 weeks and it's like, oh, here they go, screw the pooch again. It's like you don't get the bitch. Okay, you just don't. You've got nothing for it. So if you remember, so if you remember put your time in. I'm not saying that you have to earn the right, but you have to earn the right. So remember those Rewind figures?
Yes.
They come in the little Blockbuster box cases, which are cute, but let's be honest, in 5 years, they're all going to turn yellow and just fall apart in your hands. So
Absolutely.
yeah, they're going to be so brittle and all that shit will break. And
Uh-huh.
anyway, they've released a slew of figures, and I really kind of think they should hold off onto that. But they did.
Dude, literally. That's nice.
So I of course I took a chance. I ordered 2 and got the Chase.
Wow. Does Eric know about this?
No, I don't think so.
That is nice.
So yeah, those are groovy. And one of the things that for me the cynicism part is like they're like, I think Funko's going to get sued by Play School. They look like Play School figures. So I posted on one of the message boards. I was like, tell me that you haven't been collecting Funko very long without telling me that you haven't collected Funko very long. Those new Rewind, and I posted one of the guy's comments. They look like Play School. They're going to get sued. And then right under it, I posted a picture of about 5 or 6 years ago. Funko actually tried to do licensed Play School figures.
And they didn't get
did.
to?
Oh, they were terrible.
Did they get to?
They did. They released Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Doctor Who, Ghostbusters, and they were terrible figures.
Okay.
And Willy Wonka. They were weird licenses. somebody told me is that they had to license the character and then license the likeness from Play School so that they became. Um, so yeah, so a figure like yay big, right, would end up costing like 30,
Mhm.
40 bucks for that, and yeah, just not worth the money. So
Because of all the licensing.
anyway, because of all the licensing.
Gotcha.
So that's the cool thing
Fun.
on my desk. It is fun. And like
All
I
right.
said, it's got like
That
3
is,
years
and you
before
got
that.
two dudes.
I got 2 dudes, yeah.
You got a duo of dudes.
Let me just move him to the side here.
Well, that's like your opinion, man. So I don't know if you remember. Right around my birthday was about 2 weeks ago, and right around that time,
Yeah.
I sent you a
Happy
picture on a
Christmas.
Saturday night. Laura and I were. Thank you. Laura and I were at a Target. I ran across something that was amazing, and a couple days later, Connor sends me a text and says, "Hey, what do you want for your birthday?" And that picture was still on my phone. So I just slapped it over to him. It was a test. It was a dad test.
Sure.
So this is what I got for my sons for my birthday. I got the Calabac,
Nice. That's the
and he is
McFarlane
a
one
beast. Let me
that
just
weighs
tell you.
like 5
Here,
pounds.
let me see. Yes. And here he is. Here's Paul Rudd or Howard the Duck for scale.
Holy crap. I know how big that one. Yeah, oh man.
He's
Wow.
huge. He's heavy.
That's
Yeah.
that's
I'm trying to see. Okay, here's a Migo ish figure for scale.
damn.
Yeah, I mean, and he's pretty well articulated. I opened him up just before the podcast. I've been waiting. Yeah, well, he's got the arms line. Come on, come back on. Close line. But yeah, Calabac.
Nice.
And in our quest to find the Jack Kirby action figure, now I want to see some other Fourth World McFarlane figures.
Yes. You know, and
Love to see
there
him do
are-
a Mr. Miracle.
that thing would probably be on steroids and just all bulked up and
Well, it would also have one of those Batman capes, one of the superposable capes.
oh,
Which would be fun.
yeah, now that would be fun. Funko is going to do Big Barda for New York Comic Con.
Yeah,
She is not an oversized pop, which is sort of like a missed
Right.
opportunity. It should be supersized. But
it's in the name.
yeah, Big Barda. So it's just Barda. That's her smaller.
Oh wait, hold on. I need to go back to my I need to go back to my request list. Big Barda. My sample list. Big Barda.
There we go. Amazons in general. Naked wrestling.
Cosplay. Apartment
Cosplay
wrestling.
and yes, where they're
That
quietly
chick
just talking
It
and
was
writing
dressed
on
up
their
like
hand.
Doctor Doom at Comic-Con 10 years ago.
Yes, let's go with.
Do you have
big
anything
one.
about that?
Yeah.
Sorry. Am I oversharing now?
No. But I'm hoping that because they made Barda, that they will eventually maybe make some of those other characters.
That would be cool. I mean,
Yeah.
Calabac sort of seems like a gimme.
Mhm. But then we can do
Mr. Miracle.
Orion and Mr. Miracle. And
Oh, Orion would be great. See, now, like an Orion would be about this. Like if they did one of these, it would be on the same scale as this guy,
holy
and that
cow.
would be because he's supposed to be they're supposed to be brothers, right? So,
Okay.
so maybe just slightly smaller, but not significantly, and that would be an awesome side by side setup on a shelf.
No, those would be cool. And it's weird because I've been collecting Funko for years, but I've started looking at the action figure more. Excuse me. But like, the
Easy
McFarlane
now.
stuff, easy now. Like the McFarlane stuff is cool. And, I've seen a couple people have like a McFarlane animated style demon. Um, not
Uh,
not the one in the armor with the sword, but the traditional.
oh, oh, is there one?
Yeah,
I've not
there
seen that
is.
one. Ooh,
It's one of those where, yeah, you go and you're like going, oh, I wonder if you type in like the demon. One night, I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just like doom scrolling on eBay, just thinking of things,
right.
you know, because it's one of those where I was playing that roulette, kind of, let me think of something crazy to buy and see if it's out there.
Right.
Magnetic baseball schedules. By God, there's a ton of them. I sold a bunch, and then Kristen welched on the bet because she said I couldn't. And I told her I could. And I did. I sold like 10 years worth of magnetic schedules for like $10, which I'm thinking, why would anybody do that? But, to each their kink.
That's,
But yeah, so I did like Demon JLU or something, to see what was out there.
right.
And this McFarlane Demon, the animated, that classic style looking, one.
Oh
Popped
yeah,
up.
yeah. Yeah, and he comes with Clary and the Witch Boy, right? It's a 2-pack.
Yes. In the 2-pack, yes. So yes.
Yeah. I've seen that one. Now I have the original JLU one right here, the original scale,
hmm And that was, and it's
and
one
I
of these
have the
things.
little like that.
Oh, the Brave and the Bold guy.
Yeah, I have the little one too. Yeah.
Mhm. So it's one of those things. The more I'm looking at stuff, the more I think people should appreciate that Justice League Unlimited line, because every character was in the same style, and they had freaking everybody and his brother. Because what was it? Oh, I was in a used toy store, and they had a Metal Man uh, lead figure that they had done a couple years ago. So I was like going, let's see if
Mm-hmm.
there's any other Metal Men out there. And
Yeah,
they did a couple of them in Brave and Bold.
I have. They did. Say
Yeah.
that again.
I was going to say, you're kind of cutting in and out a little bit, because I said I saw Brave and the Bold Metal Men figures, and you said I got, and then we lost you for a second.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So they did a couple of the Metal Men in the Brave and the Bold style. I know they did gold. We have that because I think we ended up with all of the Brave and the Bold figures. They also did like when they did the DC Classics, they did about half of the Metal Men, and then through their collector site, they did the rest. And I have a full set of Metal Men.
Nice.
Which
Nice.
no, my turn because now that's a perfect segue. Because the boys and I went to GalaxyCon Labor Day weekend, which was a fucking disaster.
Oh, that's right.
And I want to bitch out the City of Austin Convention Center. So I purchased. I never do this, and I purchased. Ric Flair was going to be there. I purchased a photo op with the Nature Boy for my birthday, with my wife's blessing of all things. And we got there. I said, okay, we won't go right at 10 when they open the doors. We'll go and let it thin out, and we'll walk right in. We get there at like 11. The line is around the building twice. We did not get in the building until 1:15.
Holy crap.
Why? Because the City of Austin Convention Center would only let them use one set of doors for entrance. We walked past 8 sets of doors, I shit you not, that were closed. They had 2 doors, 2 metal detectors, and everybody had to go through those 2.
Wow.
It was a fucking disaster.
Now,
Yeah.
when you walk
I
into the convention center, do you like basically kind of like just walk in and then walk on the floor, or because like in Kansas City, they can open all kinds of doors
Oh, no,
from
no,
the street
no. They
level,
let you in, and then there's
but
no
you have
instruction. Then you had to go get your pass.
uh,
So then there's another line. Let you actually get in, and there's another line. And then you get to go in. So we missed Ric Flair, and he'd already left the building by the time we got inside. He'd come in, done his autographs, done his photo shoot. I was ready to as well. So then I'm like, letting the little photo nicely, because it wasn't the girl at the photo counter's fault. But I'm like, look, what are you going to do to make this right? Well, you can pick another one. Okay, well, let's have Shatner. Oh no, that's sold out. Okay, well, they're calling Giancarlo Esposito's line literally while we're staying there. We'll do him because we all like Breaking Bad, right? They closed the line while she's trying to buy the ticket to swap my ticket out. We missed that. Literally, I'm standing there. I'm like, the dude is right there. You can't walk over there and tell him to put us in the line. It's like 3 feet.
yeah,
I'm going
no,
to
they
close
can't.
the line. So we ended up getting we ended up getting a picture with Brent Spiner, which was fine. It was weird because he had on a hoodie and a backwards baseball cap. But
I
as we were
noticed
standing
that.
there in line, I'm like, I told the boys when we get in there with Brent Spiner, do this in the photo as a form of protest. Connor did it with me. Jack through the live long and prosper, but it was a fucking disaster. The point of all this was, and I had also taken all of my question trades because Dennis Cowan was going to be there. Like, oh, that'd be cool to get him to sign it. $10 per signature. No thanks, Dennis.
Oh man, it's
turned into a racket, and I don't blame him. But
oh no. When you've got like 500 people who are willing to give you $10 to sign a book, by all means, I don't fault the creditors. Scotty Young, who does like really cool stuff. I Hate Fairyland and he did some adaptations of. Well, he was pretty cool because you could buy a headshot from him, and a lot of times he would have just a thing out for the Comic Book Defense League. And so, I'd always throw some money. He was signing everything for free, but I'd always throw money into his bucket. And every now and again, he'd remark something for me. But that to me was a fair chain. He's like, I'll draw whatever you want, but you gotta put some money in here. So I was like, yeah, not a problem. I'll donate to that all day. If it gets me Scotty Young drawings, fuck yeah. But yeah, Lou Ferrigno. I've told you the story. Lou Ferrigno somehow or another got his booth set up next to this giant Hulk sculpture, fiberglass sculpture.
Right.
And I mean, that dude was like a reverse ATM. They couldn't hand him money fast enough, to get their picture taken. And all he had to do was just stand on the corner of the booth. And now he had the big Hulk standing over him, and then he would do that. And, the little fan would, geek out, pass out, whatever. And that's, Lou's doing all right. Don't worry about Lou. Lou's doing all right.
Lou's doing all right.
Lou's doing all right.
Where all this started, besides my desire to bitch about the Austin Convention Center, was as we were making one of our final passes through, because it's not a big con. When that room is bigger than, but like half of it was like photo stuff, right? And we're walking down the creator aisle, and I see the cover of Squadron Supreme #1, which I think we all know how much I love that series. And Bob Hall, the guy who drew it, was there.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, oh, and I got him to sign for me. Mr. Hall, this one's got a tear. Can I get one without a tear? And he was grumpy about it. I'm like, dude, I just paid you for, this mimeograph with your signature on it. You could at least give me one with a horn. With Squadron Supreme and the Metal Man. I'm like, yeah, okay, what's your point? That was where I was going with all that from the top, and I don't know
Okay.
why it took me that long to get there. Bruce rambles.
No, that's okay. I think I'm actually in the room. Oh, I forgot to take that to work the other day.
Not a fan of the Austin Convention Center. Yeah, I mean that's where you and I went.
Yeah, well, I think too, who do you have running the lines? Because I tell Kristen, it's like you don't to run a line, you should not give that responsibility to people who cannot look other adults in the eye. Um, so don't give it to the geeks to control, because they just they have no presence. They can't direct with authority. They just. Ugh. So you may have been a victim, not so much of Austin, but rather the people who organized the show, who didn't have the wherewithal or the guts to tell Austin to open another
Well,
goddamn.
I questioned them.
Hmm.
Well, there could well have been. I don't think they were without fault, but I also think
No,
he's spoiled because the initial crush aside, San Diego runs so smoothly. It's hard to accept clusterfuckery of that magnitude.
yeah, just walk in, scan your badge, and boom, you're done. I mean, they got it down. And I think I told you one year they pushed those things outside the hall,
Yeah,
the little
the
scanner
guy
things.
who was standing behind me in line was like, oh, yeah, the guy who's standing behind me in line was like, after this, I think this doesn't happen.
Yeah, yeah.
You've been? Yeah, a couple months ago.
Yeah, you always try not to sound like a braggart when you do that, but you just kind of can't help it.
Well, I didn't say anything at first, and then he and I were talking, and it sort of came up organically. So then I didn't feel so bad because then it was like, well, because by that time I'd sent the boys to look to see what the holdup was, and they had gone off on an expedition, and it was just like. Yeah. Okay. So this is just a line management issue. So that's then I'm speaking. I'm not really bragging so much as I'm saying, well, this can be done better.
Yes, and when you've seen it done better, it makes a difference, and it makes you more frustrated when it doesn't go right.
Yeah. I mean, we'll always have the story of the Brent Spiner photo, but it's still not Ric Flair.
So he was actually dressed with the hoodie and the backwards cap.
Well, it's funny because we saw him come out of the booth back to his autograph station, and he had taken the hat off. I think he was avoiding
Recognition.
Glare on the forehead, as I do
Oh.
with the Chick-fil-A cap during our podcast.
Gotcha. Okay, then.
So-
Got it.
Because he came out, he still had the hoodie on, but he had taken the hat off. So
Excuse
I
me.
think
Mhm.
it was a vanity thing. And let's see who else. There was a lot of. There's a big Star Trek. Stephen Amell was there. There was the Flash. The Green Arrow people were all there. So it was Koenig was there. They had a whole big Next Generation bunch.
Sure, because we're whatchamacallit.
Yep. Kevin Nash was there. The boys thought it was pretty cool that they got to see Mick Foley. The dude who is Guillermo on What We Do in the Shadows was there taking photos at the same time we were, and you could see him and through the booth. And so that was I think the most celebrity the boys had ever seen in person. So that was kind of fun. I mean,
That's cool.
Yeah.
I went to Kansas City and they had a bunch of the cast from Princess Bride. And Kerry Hughes, he's got a booth, and he sets up behind the booth, so you can have a quiet, more private session with him. And Kristen has a copy of the Princess Bride, so I got him to sign the book. As you wish, Kerry Hughes. And then right next to him is Chris Sarandon, right? And so I get up there and hand him the book, and we're talking about it. He goes, "Well, how do you want to sign it?" I go, I was thinking about it, and I go, skip to the end. When you got to He goes, "Oh yeah, that's great." So what's he do? He writes in the front of the book, skip to the end, and then signs the book at the back. So that was pretty cool. And then Wallace Shawn is there, and he will not
Nice.
sign, and he won't sign Inconceivable. So it's like with best wishes and love, Wallace Shawn, and it's like,
Really?
you know, yeah. I was just like,
The only
I
reason
mean, I
you're
get it.
there is to sign Inconceivable Wally.
Well, I get up there and I told him, I go, yeah, my wife is a big fan of Princess Bride, and Carrie was here, and Chris was here, and that was great. And of course, I need for you to sign the book as well. Um, I mean, it's either this or the Grand Nagus from Star Trek, and I have to go with this one. So, I think you made the right choice. With all my love. Hey, what did you just write to my wife?
Are you hitting on my wife, you Sicilian
Not
bastard?
even here. Inconceivable. Yes. Never
And then
cheat a
bitch slaps you.
Sicilian when death is on the line. Uh, so yeah, that was actually kind of cool. But as
Yeah.
Kristen's like, how much did it cost you to do this? And it's like,
Don't ask.
don't ask. It was well over $100 though, because 40 here, 40 here, 40 there. Um, back in the day when autographs were affordable.
Yeah, I mean, some of the prices for those autographs at that con where I was like, really? But I mean, you can pull it. Oh, Charlie Cox was there. Vincent D'Onofrio was there.
Ooh, those aren't going to be cheap.
No, they were not. Who else? Katie Sackhoff was there, maybe. I don't remember. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I got money back on the Flair autograph because we got Spiner, and I went back later and complained, and they gave me the balance back. So
That was good.
that's all right. Yeah, it was the right thing to do. So
Oh, absolutely. Charge it back to the city of Austin.
so just, like I said, that picture will always have a story. So that's that's something. So that's about all I got.
Yeah, pretty much the same here.
Okay.
Uh,
Next time we're going to talk about the demon some more, but I want to find the Brave and the Bold figure before we do that, because I did actually read the Jack Kirby, but I want to have a whole thing about it. So we'll
how
save
was
it for
the
next time.
the Jack Kirby? Was it okay?
Yeah, I think I finally finished the Jack Kirby DC reading list. So that was the last one, and I had put it off because I read one Matt Wagner had done. And by about halfway through the trade, the rhyming couplets were about to make my eyes bleed. So I was really concerned about the Kirby, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So yeah, we can talk.
I think
that's our tease. Next time,
don't let him talk a lot.
He's a man of action. Yes,
He's a man of action.
So
his words have no traction. I am a man of action.
And I can't get no satisfaction. Woo!
I wish I was written by Matt Fraction. Anyway.
Nicely done. I applaud that.
Thank you.
Actually,
Thank you.
now I want to read that. I want to read Matt Fraction writing the demon. I do.
Well,
I do.
We'll have a contest. Buy tickets, and they'll call you out of the audience, and you get to write some couplets. That could be fun. Not as fun as a murder mystery where you get to buy a ticket to be the murderer.
Or you get to buy a ticket to grope Lauren Boebert. Was there a raffle in the foyer before the show? What the hell?
Yeah. OnlyFans, baby.
Oh my. All right, I think we're going to call this one. That's the end of episode 64 of Slurp Toast, a podcast. And till the
and
next
I'm going to
time,
take care of this little
still Bruce.
Misfits looking curly Q thing I got going here.
Or
a hairnet.
Devil Lock grease down, man.
Yeah, no,
Please wear a hairnet on the next podcast.
I'll do that hairnet. I got myself a flannel shirt, just button the top button.
Okay. All right. Now, if you don't show up in 2 weeks on Wednesday, dressed like that, we're not gonna. I'm gonna cancel the podcast.
I don't have a
You-
flannel
you-
shirt.
I'll send you
Oh, wait.
one.
I do. I
You
bought
live
one
in
of
the Midwest. How do you not have a flannel shirt?
I do. I have one of those like shirt jacket things from Eddie Bauer.
That's perfect.
Oh,
Perfect.
man,
There you go.
melt back here.
Just to start the show, you can peel it off. That's after we get started.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's
Topic
it.
for dinner. I feel like I ate a shell. I've been feeling all night.
All right. Well, since you're having an allergic reaction to your dinner and we're done, that's it. We'll see you in 2 weeks, kids. Until then, bye.
Bye. Oh man.